I have one more thing that I want to add before I try to let this go for as long as I can, because these things, they come to my brain and they haunt me, you know. But the reason my aunt brings up that she thinks that I paid for my father's headstone is because in her mind that means that I must have cared for him. I must have loved him. And if she can prove that if at any time I ever loved him or expressed love for him, then I must have lied about all of the abuse and everything. He must not have been that bad if I had ever once expressed love for him. And what she's not understanding is that it is very possible for children of abuse to still love their parents. It it comes and goes over the past decades that I've been on my own and dealing with it. I've had moments where I've missed them. I've had moments where I was so thankful they were out of my life. Abuse and trauma, it causes your emotions to fluctuate a little bit. It's not always one thing or the other. It's not always absolute hate or absolute love. Sometimes there's a gray area when your parents are monsters and you want to hate them, but you're bred and designed to love them. So yes, there were times in my life where I expressed love for both my father and my mother. And I don't regret that. I really don't. But it also doesn't mean that there was no abuse. It doesn't mean that things weren't as bad as I remember them. Sometimes I try to convince myself that maybe it wasn't really that bad. Maybe I have exaggerated it. Maybe I have worsened it in my mind. And then I remember how it ended. With him outside that door, trying to beat her one last time, gun to his head, threatening his life, his children screaming. And I remember how many times that happened in my childhood, in my teenage years, how many nights we heard him say those exact words. And no, I haven't exaggerated it. Because for it to have ended as violently as it did, it had to have been as bad as I remember it. And I don't care how much it hurts the rest of my family for the truth of that to be known. It was a nightmare of abuse and alcohol and drugs. I had head lice for 12 straight years. I'm tired of pretending it wasn't that bad. But I'm also not going to lie and say that I never felt any love for these people.